My voice, a bit shaky these days, still carries the weight of years when I recall that day. They introduced me as Harold, the kind old fellow who lent a hand with the flower setups. Not father, not even my son's dad, just Harold, some nameless gent in a navy blazer, hovering near the bar like a waiter between orders. I'd poured $37,000 into that wedding, my savings, scraped together from a lifetime of careful stitches and late nights at the tailoring shop. The jacket I wore wasn't fresh off the rack, but I'd tailored it myself, deep blue wool, a sharp lapel, sleeves just right to hide the tremble in my hands I no longer hid from. Paired it with a silver tie clip my wife gave me decades ago and a quiet sort of pride. I looked respectable, not flashy, not loud, just decent. But even that seemed to grate on them. That morning, I'd pressed the final crease in Ethan's tuxedo jacket one last time. He'd wanted that hand-finished edge, said it gave it a bespoke look. I'd nodded, said little. My son craved the high life, but turned his nose up at the hands that built it. He was 31, his hair darkened by some fancy salon, tall, polished, and tied to a woman who called herself a venture consultant and once gripped my hand like it was a worn-out rag. I knew her kind, old wealth and flawless youth were their currency, anything else made them squirm. Yet I'd footed the bill. Ethan said it'd smooth things over. The grand hall, the gourmet spread, the swing band, the handwritten place cards, candles shipped from abroad, flutes of real crystal. I signed every paper, wired the funds, dipped into my pension, and told myself it was worth it for my only boy. He'd insisted my name stay off the invites. Easier this way, Dad, he'd said. Her family's old school. They hate complications. Complications, in his world, meant folks who fixed their own cars or rode the bus. I didn't weep when he said it. Didn't tear up when the seating chart stuck me at table 14, miles from the head table. Not even when the program thanked those who made this day possible, without a whisper of the groom's father. I stood there, clutching a leather wallet, watching Ethan grin for the photographers. His smile was practiced, perfect. His bride's hand lay on his arm like they were already on a billboard. I wasn't mad, not yet. Just hollow, like my heart had stepped out for air and left the shell behind. Need anything, sir? A waiter asked, understandably pegging me for staff. I shook my head and slipped outside, my polished shoes tapping the stone path. Inside, the band struck up something lively, maybe Blue Skies, a tune I'd heard at my own wedding, back when folks kicked off their shoes on the grass and snapped photos without filters. I settled on a bench by the rose beds, far from the crowd. From here, the chandeliers glowed through the windows, a haze of silk and sculpted hair. Then my phone hummed. The coordinator, final payments processing at 4 p.m. confirm. I stared at the screen. 1 hour away. I glanced back at the hall. Somewhere in there, Ethan was calling some stranger uncle, a man who'd never bandaged his scraped knees, never pawned a watch for medicine when he was 5, never stayed up hemming pants to pay for Little League. I'd done all that, the unseen labor of a father, and been repaid with erasure. I opened the message, typed 4 words, do not process payment. Sent. I rose, smoothed my blazer, and walked back in. No plan, I told myself. Just a moment when the tired part of me, silent too long, finally spoke. The ballroom pulsed with life. I knew maybe 4 faces, an old client, the florist's son, 2 of Ethan's college buddies in sharp suits and blank stares. The rest were strangers, the kind who paused mid-laugh to check their reflections. Money hums at its own pitch. No one noticed me return to table 14. I sat beside a lady in cream silk who smelled of lilac. She nodded politely, then scrolled her phone. Invisible again. Almost amusing. I'd pressed every napkin, matched the linens to Ethan's palette, ivory, slate, and dawn, whatever that meant. I'd adjusted his jacket's fit, fixed a groomsman's cufflink, even rewired a floral arch when the delivery lagged. But to them, I was just the help. A server offered hors d'oeuvres. I took one, smoked trout on a petal-thin cracker. Then a voice boomed over the music. There he is, our wizard behind the scenes. Ethan at the mic, spotlight catching his cufflinks, grin wide as a showroom. Let's thank Harold for pulling today together. Polite claps rippled. I didn't rise, my knees wouldn't have it. Heads turned, smiling like I was a hired fixer who'd saved the day with a stapler and grit. They had no clue. Ethan ensured that. I forced a tight smile, the kind men wear when pride's been dented, and went back to my untouched trout. As the cake emerged, for tears of frost and gold, and the lights dimmed, I slipped away to find the coordinator. 13 minutes to 4. What I said next would unravel everything, or set me free. My hands trembled slightly as I stepped into the hallway, the orchids on the walls blurring like memories I couldn't quite hold. No scheme, no bitterness, just a weary soul in me rising up after years of bending. The ballroom thrummed behind me, laughter weaving through the brass notes. I found the coordinator near the foyer, headset glinting. A word? I asked, voice low but steady. She followed me to a quiet alcove. The final payments, I said. Set for 4. She nodded, eyes narrowing. All of them, catering, bar, band, rentals. I met her gaze. I'm the signer. Withdraw it all. Her lips parted, closed. Sir, the event's underway, no need to explain, I cut in gently. Inform the vendors. They can pack up if needed. I'll cover penalties. She hesitated, but something in my weathered face made her nod. I'll tell them. May I ask why? I was introduced as the help, I said. Time I stopped helping. She touched her headset and hurried off, shoes clicking like a countdown. I lingered, breathing deep. It wasn't victory or spite, just necessity, like finally loosening a tie that's choked you for hours. The wall clock read 3:47. 13 minutes. I wandered back slowly, past guests sipping and swaying, oblivious. A hush falls in a room not when sound dies, but when the rhythm stumbles. It starts small, a server vanishing, a watch glanced, a murmur at a linen-draped table. By 4:06, the band halted mid-phrase. The trumpeter lowered his horn, shared a shrug with the drummer, and they began packing. Someone clapped, mistaking it for intermission. But the cases snapped shut with finality. At table 14, the lady in the gold scarf leaned over. Strange, isn't it? Weren't they booked through dinner? I gave a faint smile. Schedules change. Then the catering manager strode in, urgency in his step, scanning for authority. He whispered to the coordinator, her face tightened. He made a beeline for the groom. Ethan's brow creased. He excused himself from the head table, following the manager out. 2 minutes later, his bride trailed, veil tucked, lips thin. I stayed put, sipping water from crystal, calm as the lake I'd soon escape to. I didn't need to hear it, payments voided. Contracts breached. Teardown begins. I'd signed every line, sent every dollar. Ethan never knew the totals, didn't want to, just wanted it handled. By his old man, now waiting quietly. At 4:15, I stood, needing air. The foyer bathed in sunlight through tall windows. I lingered near the doors, watching smokers in the lot. Then the ballroom doors flew open. Ethan's bride stormed out first, heels sharp, veil trailing like a surrender flag. But it was Ethan who spoke. "Dad," he said through gritted teeth. A moment. I turned slowly. His face was flushed, eyes stormy. "Of course," I replied. "What's wrong?" He waited till we were alone. "What did you do?" he hissed. "Caterers say payments cancelled. Band's gone. Bars dry." "I know," I said softly. "I requested it half an hour ago." His jaw dropped. Are you serious? Depends on your view, I said. His hands flew up. Do you know what you've done? The humiliation. I looked him steady. Do you? He stepped back, breath ragged. This is my wedding. You're destroying it. No, I said. I paid for it all, quietly. Today you called me the help. It was a joke, it was a choice, I cut in. So was mine. He stared like I'd slapped him. And maybe I had, not with force, but with the clarity of being truly seen. Leave, he said finally. I nodded. I will. I turned toward the exit, not the party. Outside, the sun warmed my face like an old friend's hand. Gravel crunched under my shoes. I wasn't crying, wasn't raging, just an old man in a blue blazer walking away from a celebration I'd funded but wasn't welcome at. My old sedan sat far from the sleek cars. I'd considered a limo, something polished, but why start now? I always drove myself. As I reached for the handle, footsteps. I turned, expecting Ethan with more anger. But it was Liam, my grandson. He looked so much like Ethan at that age, sharp jaw, thick dark hair, but with a gentleness in his stance. He wasn't due till morning, his flight had just landed. Grandpa, he panted, shirt untucked. Wait. I paused. They're saying you left. Vendors in chaos. Whispers everywhere. I raised a brow. Only whispers. I'm flattered. He didn't smile. Did you really cancel it all? Yes. Because of what Dad said. Because of what he didn't say, I replied. Silence hung, broken by wind in the pines and Liam's silk tie fluttering. He told folks you were just the organizer, that you used to tailor and kindly helped with decor. At least he admitted the tailoring part, but as Liam's eyes searched mine, I wondered if this old cabin key in my pocket might hold more than dust. The cabin carried the scent of forgotten years, aged pine, faint earth, and the echo of laughter long faded. We arrived near dusk, the sun lounging over the lake. The drive took 40 minutes, Liam dozing partway, waking with a start as gravel replaced pavement. This place have power? He asked, stepping inside. If the critters left the wires alone, I chuckled, voice warm but wavering. It wasn't lavish, no granite, no smart thermostats, just one level, a wide porch, and a yard sloping to the water. Wallpaper peeled in spots, the living room rug older than Ethan, but it was mine, unchanged. Mismatched mugs on shelves, quilts on chairs, paperbacks stacked like old companions. Liam dropped his bag by the sofa and gazed out the windows. It's peaceful, he said. Quiet's a rare gift, I replied, my tone soft with nostalgia. We moved gently, I fired up the heater, it grumbled to life, Liam found cards and shuffled them absently. I brewed tea, plain black leaves from a tin over the stove, served in chipped cups at the small table. We watched twilight swallow the trees. Dad's probably raging, Liam said after a spell. He'll call. He has, I admitted. Liam's brows shot up. I didn't pick up. He nodded, staring into his tea. That toast, calling you Harold, the flower guy. Stings still, I said gently. Why lie? Even if he was ashamed of the cost. I paused, gathering words like threads. Some folks hide shame like a pocket watch, close, polished, renamed. Ethan's chased a shinier self, flawless and distant. I don't fit that picture. But you're his father. I smiled faintly. Precisely. Wind stirred the lake into soft waves. Worst part? Liam asked. He figured I'd swallow it, smile, fade away. He's not wrong, I said. He looked puzzled. I've been fading for years. Skipping introductions at his graduation dinner. Parking blocks away for his first big promotion. Christmas card signed H. Whitaker, like a vague acquaintance. I convinced myself it was fine, that love endured. Protecting his image from what? Liam's voice trembled with anger, at Ethan, at himself for staying quiet. From a man who worked dawn to dusk stitching suits, who skipped vacations for tuition, whose calloused hands shaped his world but wouldn't photograph well. We sat in silence, then Liam fetched an old album from the shelf, thick, pages brittle. He flipped through, Ethan as a boy, me teaching him to fish, birthdays with lopsided cakes, a kid in hand-mended clothes beaming up at me. "He wouldn't be here without you," Liam said. I laid my hand on his. "He is here. That's the ache and the comfort." Morning came peaceful, no rush to prove anything. I rose early, as always, coffee perking, stepping onto the porch. The lake mirrored the sky, ducks gliding lazily. The world didn't mourn yesterday's drama. My phone had buzzed overnight, silenced, face down. I knew the script, outrage masked as worry. "Dad, where are you? How could you? You've shamed me." Ethan excelled at turning hurt into spectacle, tears timed for attention. I'd loved him through it. Still did. But I'd stopped contorting to fit his frame. At 9, it rang. I let it go to voicemail. A minute later, a message. I played it, breath held. "Dad, it's me. I don't get it. Why now? In front of everyone? You made your point. Was it worth it? We can't recover from this." No remorse, just bewilderment. I set the phone down, sipped coffee. Worth it? Thinking of Liam asleep inside, his trusting smile last night, saying, "You always showed up." Yes. Liam joined me at 10, hair tousled, in my old flannel. He sat, knees up, chin rested. "Sleep well?" He nodded. "Dad called me too." I waited. "Said you snapped, overreacted, were guarding family image." Classic Ethan. I told him I was with you. How'd that land? Tears. Accused us of villainizing her. I let it settle. Does he believe he's the victim? "Yeah," I said. "His pain's real, but it doesn't justify erasing the man who made it possible." Liam rested his cheek on his knees. He's not used to pushback. No, he's used to bailouts. I stood, poured more coffee. "When your grandmother passed, Ethan was 15. Silent for days. I thought grief. First words, promise you'll never be one of those broken men in black, trailing her to the grave." Liam turned. He feared vulnerability, loss. Built armor that became him. So now, breakfast. Then town for something sweet, lakeside breaths. Liam smiled, and for the first time in ages, my day began on my terms. In town, at a chalkboard menu bakery smelling of yeast and home, whispers of the wedding fiasco floated in the air, but a voicemail from a long-lost voice would soon pull threads from my past I thought were buried. We found Clara's Bakery on Main and Juniper, tucked between faded shops, menu scrawled in chalk, air rich with butter. A teen boy at the counter grinned nervously, likely at Liam. We took blueberry muffins and coffee to a sunlit window table. Nearby, two elderly gents debated fishing spots over biscuits. One tipped his cap, the other leaned on a cane like an old pal. Mornings like this, I dreamed of them young, ease, no knot in my chest. "Folks are piecing it together," Liam said, stirring sugar. Dad posted a vague photo, plans change, but love endures. Comments exploding, questions, defenses. One said, "Some parents can't release control." I arched a brow. "Charming." Liam sighed. "He's spinning it, you melted down. But it's cracking." A vendor commented, "Total chaos." I sipped bitter coffee. I don't crave pity. This isn't a film with redemption bows. But don't you mind being seen as unhinged? They've thought worse. When your grandma and I started the shop, folks assumed I was the face, she the helper. After she died, I ran it, they called me brave, not capable. That's what they say for men who persist without applause. Liam traced his plate. You deserve understanding. I need freedom, I said, words surprising even me. Truth, pure. No clearing my name, just reclaiming it. We finished, wandered Main Street, dusty windows, embroidery signs. Liam paused at a bookstore, Ethan's childhood haunt. Inside, paper and cedar scent. He browsed fiction, I lingered by the door. My story was enough today. He returned with a slim novel, tucked it away. Let's go. Back at the cabin, weight lifted from my shoulders. Dusk brought a buzz, unknown number, voicemail. I played it. Gravelly, unsure, Hank, it's me. Frank. My late wife's brother, unheard from in 20 years. Saw online about the wedding. Wasn't sure to call. But I remember you, the man who raised a boy alone, kept the shop alive when quitting was easier. Not fixing anything. But if you need a voice with no strings, I'm here. Click. I held the phone like fragile glass. Frank had been there, funerals, roof repairs, calling Ethan, buddy, bringing jams for colds. Then distance, life pulling us apart. All good? Liam asked from the couch. An old echo, I said. A kind one. I saved it. Didn't call back, not yet. Later, rinsing mugs, my reflection sharper in the window, not younger, but focused. I'd left a son, but wasn't alone. Kindness lingered in unexpected corners. Morning, I made toast, peaches, eggs with extra pepper. Liam yawned in, smiling at the aroma. Spoiling me. Feeding someone who needs it, I said. We ate on the porch, lake-like glass. He shared school tales, a girl he skipped, post-grad uncertainty. I listened, no fixes. Then, alone, I opened my old ledger, leather soft, pages curled. Grocery notes, shop orders, unsaid dreams. New page, what I recall. Pen flowed, teaching Ethan to tie flies, falling thrice but persisting. Stitching his first suit jacket. The day he hid friends because our home smelled old. That scent, wood oil, pipe tobacco, baked apples, was safety to me, shame to him. Signs I'd ignored for love. Love blinds when truth uglies. Noon, town wander. Liam bought a scarf, local honey. Simple joys. Bumped into Walt Greer, church friends long ago, widows in the same year. Thinner now, but eyes bright. Harold Whittaker, still kicking. I laughed. Parts of me. Hugged firm, met Liam, your boy's boy. Proudly, my grandson. Chatted losses, moves, no wedding probe. Gracious or unaware. Evening, phone, dozens from Ethan. Ignored. Ledger again, what remains? First, Liam devouring muffin, laughing full-hearted. Voicemail from bride side, clipped, polite. Financial fallout, de-escalate, upset bride. No acknowledgement of slights. Judgment in velvet. I set it down, joined Liam journaling on the porch. Her. No, the husband. Liam scowled. Don't like him. You don't know him. Know how Ethan dims around him. We sat as loons called. He's afraid, Liam said. Of me? Of fault. Not mine to mend. But he's your son. I love him. Then fix it. This boy, witnessing wreckage, still sought mends. Yes, but not by vanishing. Next day, a bill arrived, $19,000 in fees. I paid it, no note. But as Liam watched me mail it, a silver car pulled up. Ethan, arms crossed, ready for confrontation. The invoice came formal, heavy stock, itemized cold, cancellations, damages, $19,000. Liam found me with it by cold coffee. They billed you. I nodded. Pay it? Yes. Why? I voided what I funded. My burden. He squeezed my hand. Dignity, not revenge. Mailed it plain. Liam beside me at the post office, breeze cooling the heat. Done. Done. Lunch at a diner, meatloaf for me, pancakes for him at 2 p.m., decided on Dad. Chose myself. Back, silver rental in the drive. Ethan on the porch, sunglasses hiding eyes, linen crisp. I parked, Liam stayed. This is mine, I said. Gravel path slow, steady. You ignored calls. Yes. I've tried. I know. You paid the bill. I did. Didn't ask you to. You asked me not to exist. He held firm. Protecting the event, the image. Not about you. Always about me, especially when denied. Didn't want judgment. Came anyway. But not as you feared. He looked down. Ashamed, of needing help, money not from her side. He's all about stability. Thought if they saw you, they'd see truth, a father who mended seams, skipped meals for books, hands that built but didn't shine in photos. Tears welled. Didn't want smallness. You diminished me to evade it. Silence heavy. Sorry, he said, raw, no strings. I sat on the step. Loved tailoring your tucks, every stitch, though it pained. Thought it'd bond us. I know. He sat nearby, not touching. How to mend? Don't know. But no pretending. He nodded, wiped his face. Liam peeked, Ethan saw. He stayed. Yes. He sees you. And he did too, finally. Ethan left before sunset, quiet hour on the porch. No breakthroughs, just presence. Hug brief but lingering. Don't deserve forgiveness. Not offering, yet. He understood. Liam waited till dishes. Okay. Tired, but yes. Meant it? The hurting parts. Not forgiving either. Made loyalty seem shameful. You were right. Glad I came. We sat under stars, tea steaming. You taught me, you don't shout to be heard. I smiled. Don't even need the room. Low laugh, survival's warmth. I might stay longer. Really? Thought hiding, but remembering. Liam leaned on my shoulder. As long as you want. Rain next morning, gentle. Liam barefoot on porch, braid loose. I brought tea, strong, 1 sugar cube. Like rain, clears the mind. Quiets the world. No plans. Reed, mended his shirt hem. Noon, envelope under door, damp. Ethan's hand, don't expect welcome. I'm here, listening. Set on sill. Evening, Liam built fire, I cooked lentils, carrots. Thinking of Dad, terrified of exclusion. Love had to be envied. Sought safety in reflections. Knows now. The notes restraint, hope seed. Starting to. Trunk in back room, photos, letters. Liam read one to my wife post-death, miss you mornings. Reach across bed. Quiet grief, missing laugh, coat, coffee. Didn't know you wrote him. Didn't know I needed to. Held by past, buoyed by new. Building true family, those who arrive. Weather cleared, Liam left with wildflowers and a locket. Alone, a letter from Ethan arrived, no apology, but reckoning. As I wrote my own truths, hope stirred like embers. Mist off the lake, world washed. Liam's note, walk. Good tea for you. No dishes. Slipped in pocket, like lifelong friend newly met. Tea slow, lake gazing. Story quiet now, no vengeance, just post-storm calm. No word from Ethan since, space needed. Tidied gently, blankets, books, windows for pine scent. Preparing for me. Liam back, cheeks wind-kissed, wildflowers. Arranged in character-rich vase. He journaled, remembering feelings. Afternoon, town browse. He bought locket, gold, worn hinge. Empty. Not yet. Clerk recalled us, you belong to the same tale. Liam packed slow, school called. Miss this. Return, even if, this is yours too. Doorway, kissed forehead. Good man, not from raising, but choosing despite. Tears, hug fierce. Gone. Silence full, memory, choice. Night, fire for crackle, reminder of presence. Ethan's text, still listening. Tiny hope, soil after rain, oiled wood. Forgiveness possible, reclaimed quietly. Left pre-dawn, no chase. Fog, damp air. Cabin held my quiet, grief, bravery. Drove slow, steady now. Home unchanged, steps needing paint, light flickering. Unpacked, tea, windows open. Mail, cream envelope, Ethan script. Dear Dad, not apology, expectations you've outlived. Reckoning, maybe start if open. Thought on introduction. Chose convenient you, no questions, no mess. You were foundation, tailor, fixer of hems, ties, jackets unseen. Held my life, I erased. Your no, your walk, bravest act. Trust slow. If place for me, to learn, I'd try. Love, Ethan. Read thrice. Truth, no bows. Took paper, not the end. Wrote long, to remember, rebuild, leave for and Liam someday, how a man reclaims self after shrinking. Sun low, garden called. World here, so I, tell your tale, step forward. If called just help, smile as one who built it all. Keep walking. But as seasons turned, a knock came unexpected, pulling us toward mending not forced, but chosen. Months blurred like lake mist. I stayed at the cabin longer than planned, then home, tending garden, shop visits from old clients. Liam called weekly, school, dreams, locket now holding a photo of us by the water. Ethan's messages sparse, listening, no pressure. Then, autumn crisp, a knock. Ethan, alone, coat collar up, eyes older. Can I come in? Voice softer. I stepped aside. Coffee brewed, we sat at the table where I'd written truths. No rush. He spoke of therapy, unraveling armor. Saw how I diminished you, to feel big. I nodded. Hurt, but here. Hours, memories, silences comfortable. No full forgive, time's work. But he helped weed the garden, hands in soil like boyhood. Liam joined later, tentative hugs. We fished the lake, laughs echoing. Winter, shop reopened part-time, Ethan apprenticed hems, learning value in stitches. Harper, wait, Liam, graduated, visited often. Family not perfect, but present. I wrote more, ledger full. Hope bloomed slow, real. One evening, fire crackling, Liam read aloud my words. Ethan listened, eyes wet. You built us, he said. I smiled, voice trembling warm. We build each other now. Outside, snow soft. Inside, warmth earned. And in quiet moments, I knew, walking away wasn't end, but path to belonging, truly, freely.